Randy's with us. Randy is in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Randy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so I've been following y'all's program for a while now, and we've gotten to the point where I'm in baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and just not really feeling traction. And so my question for you guys is there something I'm missing? I don't want to be just reactive to things, but proactive in some of this. So we have.
What do you mean you're not feeling traction?
Like, it's been a couple of years, and like life keeps hitting us. So, like, for example, we had what's called a derecho, which is basically an on-land hurricane of sustained winds of 180 miles an hour. So, some stuff on an old house that insurance wouldn't cover that we had to prepare. We had 2 babies in the midst of this journey as well. So, saved up for those and paid cash for all those things. We now have paid cash for both of our reliable cars now that we've upgraded. So
how old are you?
We've been investing 27, sir.
Wow, you're killing it.
Dude, this is called life, and you're winning it.
Yeah, I mean, I missed the part where you're not getting traction.
What are you talking about?
Babies, paid for storm repairs. I mean, you're rocking this.
We've been investing, 15, 20% now for a couple of years. And
your house paid for?
Ross, not quite. So
then you should not be doing but 15%.
We have 5 years left on our.
Yeah, you should be doing 15% at baby step 4 onto your house. No more, not 20.
Gotcha. So dial that back.
And so you're gonna have a paid off house when you're 32. You know who would trade places with you?
Everybody.
A couple of 100 million Americans.
Yeah.
Let me. In all honesty, let me tell you what I think it is. You thought it would feel differently, and everyone I've ever sat down with, whether they are multi-millionaire or they're a pro athlete, they thought that there would be this resolution that suddenly Dad would text out of the blue and be like, "Hey, I've never called you and told you I'm really proud of you. I want you to know I'm proud of you." That call's never coming. Right? Or that I was just going to wake up and suddenly like, I'm a good-looking guy. I feel great. That resolution never comes. And so then you're in a you're in a position, brother, where you're going to start doing dumb stuff if you continue to chase feelings instead of just stay in the path. Because you're going to start seeking feeling. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And people rarely cheat on their spouse because of their spouse. They cheat on their spouse because it makes them feel alive again. They rarely go buy a new sports car because it's a great purchase, but it makes them feel alive for 5 seconds. And you're in danger of going down that road if you deviate from the path. That's why the path is so important, man, because it gives us something to lean on when we quote unquote don't feel right. That's why I map out my workout programs, because I don't feel like it in the morning, right? But I've already got it written out. Man, stay on the path. From 2 old guys way older than you, bro, you're
doing great.
So good, man. Stay on the path.
You're doing great.
How often have you heard that over the years?
Oh, it happens all the time. Yeah, when you get to baby step 4, it just slows down. It changes
like
from
the adrenaline's gone.
It changes from intensity
to life.
That is great to intentional. And intentional is not nearly as exciting as intensity.
Yeah.
And so intentional is a marathon, intensity is a sprint. It changes everything. Joe's in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I really need your advice, but I told my wife I did not want to call and get the public Dave Ramsey smackdown because I know I've been stupid. But I am a step 6 repeat offender because I'm a real estate addict. And every time we do our quiet, debt-free scream, I manage to go out and do stupid again and buy another rental real estate property. But the question I have is, we have a mortgage I want to eliminate on step 6 again. And how much, or how do we best wisely calculate our emergency fund? How deep can I go? We have the ability to pay it off, but the emergency fund for our personal income is one question. But then I guess the real question is, for the rental portfolio, how much of a capital reserve do we need?
Yeah, good for you. Well, your personal is 3 to 6 months of expenses. On a business, and that's what a rental portfolio is, it's a business, you would have what we call retained earnings. And, retained earnings would go for emergencies, repairs, like for instance, a heating and air goes out or something like that. And it would also, you would also build and calculate your retained earnings if you're doing it well for replacement of large items. Like say you've got a roof that's going to need to be replaced in 5 years. Then you want to be setting aside a fifth of that roof each year so that it doesn't sneak up on you, And so we've got a apartment complex that the parking lot's going to have to be redone, and that's a $100,000 expense or whatever it is, right? And we got 3 years to do that though, so we're going to put $33,000 aside for 3 years, that kind of a thing. So you would systematically build into your major repairs to keep you from having something quote unquote sneak up on you that shouldn't really sneak up on you, and then the second thing you would hold is just retained earnings for the totally unexpected. But how many houses have you got now?
We have 19 and about 23 different units within that.
Yeah. Have you got how long have you been doing this?
About 20 years.
I
had a career.
You probably got a pretty good set of books that you could probably look back and say, here, average per house or average per 10 houses or something. Here's what my unexpected repairs are: water heaters and heat and air, whatever else. And you've got carpet replacement, paint replacement on turnover. That's standard tenant stuff, right? Not every time you turn them over, but occasionally, every 2 or 3 times you turn them over, you're going to have to go through and hit that inside pretty hard. We do anyway, and so on. You're probably used to doing all that. I would say your P&Ls, if you look back through them, would inform your retained earnings pretty accurately. And in combination with that, I would look forward and say, what are known replacements and repairs that are large that I've got coming in the next 5 to 10 years, 3 to 10 years, and or whatever, and let's add that in there too. And somewhere in there is going to give you a real common sense number on the retained earnings.
Okay. Our consistent experience has been about 50% of the gross revenue goes to manage and retain the business.
Yeah.
And then we cash flow about 50%.
Yeah, that doesn't sound unusual.
So if we cash flow
depend on the age of the properties, that if it's a newer property, it shouldn't be that high. But if these are 10-year-old, 15-year-old properties, you probably are seeing that because your heating and air starts.
So should we retain a full year's worth of expenses and reserve them?
No, I'd take 6 months.
Okay. Great.
Because you've not had any cash flow. You're managing your cash already. You're joking around about you continue to go back into debt. That's a different issue, but you're already managing your cash. You've been doing this too long. You got too many properties. If you were doing it poorly, it would already knocked you off the saddle.
Yeah, I did. I want to knock out this last mortgage. I just didn't know how aggressive I could be with my reserves.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's kind of like your personal. If you take it down to $1,000 and you pay off your house, heat and air will go out the next day. So you don't want to invite Murphy to the party. So let's just let's give it a little wiggle room here and not go too aggressive. But also, you don't need a year and a half's worth of cash sitting there while you got a mortgage that you can reach over and knock out with a few months of that reserve. But it's like any other business. You can plan out your known. You get a rhythm of the emergencies once you've got enough volume like you've got. If you had 2 houses, it's harder to do. But when you got 20 and 23 units, you can start to get some averages, and you've been doing it a while, and you'll get pretty accurate on it.
So real estate for me it's a fascinating topic. I feel like even right now in our world, not just with the housing prices being up, but this is more, I feel like more than ever hearing people trying to get into real estate investing and it being part of their world. It feels like it's everywhere. And obviously, Joe's been doing this for a long time, but do you feel like there's been a surge of that too versus 10 years ago?
Yeah, there was really last spring we talked about it a lot. There was a real move, and you could feel it in social media, and you could feel it with Gen Z. There was this move of get rich quick real estate pop back up, which kind of was like making real estate cool again.
Yeah. So talk
You know,
to everyone about the wisest way to do it, because we teach cash, but a lot of people are like, that's impossible. There's
not
no way
impossible.
I could get in
Not
to the
impossible. You
market.
just got to have the cash. It's not impossible at all. You got to wait till you have the cash. And it's so what it amounts to is to buy that first property. If you're buying houses, for example, and let's say you're going to buy a $200,000 rental property, which is not that unusual in a lot of cities. Some of your cities, that's not possible, but just call it that, and you go, okay, I'm going to save $40,000 a year for 5 years. It takes a little while to get the first one. But when you get the first one, then you've got the cash flow off of that, and you got no payments, and so you could throw that at this savings for the next one. And by the time you've got 3 or 4, pretty quickly you can buy a house a year off of the income from the houses, that kind of a thing. So it snowballs in a good way. That way, the snowball rolls over and over, and that's how we did it.
Right.
We first bought houses, and then 2008 hit, and I was sitting on a bunch of cash, and we got into a bunch of commercial at pennies, at 15 cents on the dollar. It was ridiculous. So the weird thing is, if you'll be patient, get yourself in a cash position, you'll find deals, and you'll find the market slows, and there's a moment in time where you can jump in. I've been in the real estate business 30 plus years in one way or another, and I've never seen anything as good as that 2008 was. It was wonderful for buying.
Yeah.
Because we were buying at pennies on the dollar. And I don't know that I'll ever see it again. But made a lot of money that year, 2 years, really. Patrick's with us in Denver. Hi, Patrick. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, I got a quick question for you for retirement and investment. I'm 51 years old. I'm debt-free except for my home. I owe about $65,000 on my home. I have about $20,000 in individual stocks. I have an emergency fund of $15,000, and I have about $10,000 in savings. My monthly income is $9,000 a month take home, and I would like to have my house paid off in January to February and start off 2017 great. Once I do all of that and I'm completely debt-free, I need to make up some time. I've got about 15 to 17 years to retirement, and like the numbers I stated, I have very little saved for retirement, but like you say, I have a huge shovel. I've done real estate in the past before, but I got hurt in the 2008, 2009, but I did enjoy it, and it's something that I'm not afraid to do. What percentage of investing in mutual funds and in real estate would you do to make up the ground that I need to make up in the 15 to 17 years?
Are you married?
No.
Okay. Well, first thing I'm going to do is follow through on your plan here, which means I'm cashing out the stock and the extra $10,000, throwing $30,000 at your mortgage today, leaving you only a $35,000 balance, which you knock out by the end of the year. That sounded like your plan, was it?
Yes, I
Good.
would go into possibly even my emergency fund a little bit, and then I have a consistent income of about $9,000 a month.
So now you and I are sitting in January or so with a paid-for house and a fully funded emergency fund, and we start talking about a retirement mix with a guy who loves real estate like I do. Well, at a minimum, I'm going to have you do your full $6,500. Because you're over 50, you can do $6,500 into your Roth IRA. To start with, we do that. Do you have 401k available?
Just through myself. I'm self-employed, 1099. I would be able to do a set.
Okay, all right. I would definitely do a Roth IRA, and I would start thinking about a SEP. Here's the interesting thing about the SEP. You can load that thing full, and when it gets enough in it, you could set up a self-directed SEP that allowed you to buy real estate with cash inside of that.
Ooh.
So I'd load them both up, because you got to save up the money to pay cash for the real estate if you're listening to me, because we already got your house paid for. We're not going to turn around and go in debt to buy rental properties. You've already been on that train. You didn't like that ride. So,
No.
But now the trick is this, let's say we build up some money and you buy a $100,000 house inside your SEP, a self-directed SEP. You can do that. However, the entire SEP or the entire rental property has to be operated as a part of your retirement plan, meaning you don't make any of the money off the rent. It goes back into the SEP.
Okay.
The rent goes back into the SEP. The SEP pays the expenses for operating the rental, and the net profits on the rental property stay in the SEP until you're 65, until you're 59 and a half. But you're coming up on that. You're coming up on that pretty quick anyway. So then you could pull it out of there if you wanted to, and do all the. But if you, as long as you roll the stuff over inside the SEP, there's no taxes on it. And if you do a Roth SEP, there'll never be any taxes on your gains.
No way.
Yeah, way. This is very cool.
Wow.
This will completely work.
Oh.
But now here's the problem. Okay, we're betting real heavy on real estate, and so far you hadn't done good at that.
Correct.
So just be careful, my brother. I don't want you to end up one of those broke people playing with real estate, right? So we're paying cash for it. You take your time. When you're buying real estate, the money's made at the buy. It's not made at the sale. You steal it or you don't buy it. That's the rule.
Okay.
You buy real estate cheap. That's where your money's made. You take your time. And you are a sweet person, so you are a kind vulture. You are circling and waiting for something to die, and you get a great buy, which right today in most market's hot. It's hard to find a great buy out there today. 3 or 4 years ago, I was buying everything in sight. I ran out of cash because I was just buying real estate as hard as I could buy. The Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
So you have to break the cycle. You have to flip this thing on its head and make it behave. You've got to get so fired up and wired up that your broke friends think you've lost your mind. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My car, I was in a shopping mall, and I'm unstable off my bipolar. I was unstable off my bipolar disorder medication. I broke into my own car. My car was towed to the tow facility. The tow facility auctioned it off because I was in jail. So when the police came, I got scared and I ran. Was in jail for about 83 days. And while I was in jail, the tow company sold the car for $21,000. It was worth $41,000. I shouldn't have bought the car to begin with. They shouldn't have sold the car to begin with at Honda Acura. And they ended up selling the car at the tow company in an auction, and then got about $21,000 for it. And there's a balance of $20,945. And then Honda Acura sold the debt to a creditor. And I was just wondering if I should pay the creditor or just let. There's a repossession on the record already, so I'm not sure what to do.
Wow. Okay, well, I need to help you reframe your story, okay? The tow company didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, they didn't.
They sold a car that had been sitting on their lot for 83 days in order to cover the tow bill and the storage bill. And so Honda, you owed Honda $41,000?
Yeah, I bought the car, and I guess it's a matter if I say this or not. I was unstable when I bought the car. They said I was a truck driver or something like that when I was an Uber driver to get the loan. I signed off at the time because I was unstable. Sold me the car for $41,000. Couldn't afford a $900 a month payment.
Okay, but I'm trying to just get the hold on. I'm just trying to get the numbers straight, honey. So you have $41,000 owed on the car. The tow company sold it for $21,000. How did they give clear title to it if the loan hadn't been paid off? That's interesting.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how Florida law works. I can't imagine that if the car didn't at least pay off the lien. Well, anyway, I don't know how they got title, but that's a different issue. So bottom line is that they put $20-something thousand towards the debt, and you still owe $20-something thousand on a car that was in a weird way sort of repoed, right?
Yeah, they did this. They just sent me a letter saying I could settle for $8,300.
There you go.
Payments of $5,200.
There you go. Do you have any money?
I don't have any money till November. I have a settlement check coming in for $5,700 in November. I could probably settle with them then.
Okay.
I should do that.
Yeah, you're going to have to clear the debt. It is a valid debt, and typically a repo debt you can clear for somewhere around a quarter on the dollar. And so the $20,000 balance, you probably can clear it for around 5. 8 was their first offer. You could probably get them down to 5, but you don't have 5 today, so you can't really make them a counter offer today. What you could do is just ignore them and let them get a little bit more sweaty before you have to deal with them. That's not a bad thing. Eventually, they're going to get around to suing you for that. Are you working?
For the first time in my life, I'm not working now. I 6 months out of work. I went off my psychiatric drugs right before I sold my condo 4 years ago, and I came into $72,000 and went through 4 years of hell until I finally realized in the last 3 weeks, I'm fresh out of the hospital 2 weeks ago. That
So you're out of the hospital 2 weeks ago now?
Pretty much, yeah.
Are you stable? Are you back on the meds?
Yeah, I'm back on the meds now. I take lithium and one other drug, but and I'm a little shaky right now, but I'm stable. So working through things. But yeah, I at 14 years old, I started a vending company, had that for 10 years, and then worked in pizza delivery for about another 10 years or so. So it's been a rough ride. I believe I saw Jesus Christ in the hospital in Tampa after I was going 45, 55 miles an hour. I fell asleep at the wheel. I prayed to God in Jesus' name to stop my car in the middle of traffic. I prayed to him to help me. And I was going 45, 55 miles an hour in Sarasota. He stopped my car in the middle of traffic. I had cars in front of me, cars beside of me. He had a scratch on my body, nowhere but I deployed.
Yeah.
And only $700 some dollars in Tampa Hospital.
Colin, the first thing before we worry about healing your numbers, healing your math and your finances, is for Colin to get healing. Okay?
Yeah.
And so whatever work you just did at the hospital and whatever work you've got to do to finish stabilizing your meds to get there, that keeps you, if you can get there and stay there, it keeps you from falling into the traps of buying things, of getting things stored, getting in jail. It keeps you out of all those traps because all those things set all your financial numbers back, hon. It makes it real tough. And so almost everything you're having to clean up is the result of you being sideways, right? And so if we can if you can focus on Colin, focus on what your therapist is saying, get those drugs balanced, and getting them balanced is a trick, you know that, and getting them right to where you have enough energy to live, but you're also not completely freaking manic, which you sound a little bit right now like you are. But I want you to work on healing Colin, and then as you do that, you'll be able to get and hold a job of some kind to create an income, and then you can settle this repossession deficit for somewhere around 25 cents on the dollar. So $5,000 will clean this particular mess up, but you will have 7 other messes if Colin doesn't find healing.
Yeah.
And so, man, we'll be praying for you, brother. Sounds like you've really been through it. And I want you to get stable and get straight and narrow, and for your sake, and just find some peace and find some ground you can walk on that's solid.
And another tactical piece of this is adding some stop gaps in there, like freezing your credit with all the bureaus so that you can't open debt. Because right now, it could just take one little slip up and you open a new line of credit, got another loan. And like you found out, these dealerships, these lenders, they don't care. They'll do whatever it takes to get you another loan. And so put some stop gaps in place to help protect yourself.
Wow.
But that's scary.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Let's go out to Terrence in Cleveland, Ohio. What's up, Terrence?
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I've been better. Hanging in there.
Oh, man. What's up?
So I'm currently faced with the idea of filing bankruptcy. I currently have about $70,000 in debt. I make about $20,000 a year. I've been working for about a year now. I was in a nursing home for a year before that. And as of now, I just had a recent bad incident. My car was stolen back in August. And with the repairs, I've defaulted on my car note. I actually got 2 months deferred already, and now I have to pay a large deductible to get it from the mechanic. And I'm still, faced with the car payments, which is more than half of my monthly income right now. And I've been considering filing Chapter 7 to remove a lot of my debts and try to start over, because it's to the point where I'm not able to save anything at the end of the month.
Yeah. Terrence, can I ask you, what are you doing for a job right now?
I'm a custodian.
Okay. And did I hear you right? You're making about $20,000?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said did I hear you say you were in a nursing home?
I was, yes.
Okay. Do you have any physical limitations right now that would keep you from doing any other type of work than being a custodian?
Well, I have heart disease, minor neurological deficiencies. Like, my endurance is very low.
Okay.
So I have to expend my energy twice as much to do normal functions.
Is the custodial job, I don't want to assume, but is it a physical job, obviously on your feet a lot and doing a lot of physical labor?
I mean, yeah, but I work at my own pace. I got employed through this organization called Vocational Guidance, and it's pretty much geared towards disabled persons like myself.
Okay. Another couple quick questions here. How much do you owe to get that car from the mechanic? What would be the fee you got to pay to get it back?
$1,000.
$1,000. And what would you say the car is worth versus what you owe on it?
It's worth about $20,000, and I owe $35,000.
I'm sorry, you broke up. You owe what?
I owe $35,000, and the car is only worth about $20,000.
Okay. All right. The reason I went that direction, John, and Terrence, the reason I'm asking you about what you're doing and what your physical limitations are, is because even though you have limitations, and I know you went through an organization that's trying to help you out, man, I'm willing to stake my entire name and reputation on the fact that you should be making, and you can be making, way more than $20,000, which would help us in this financial situation. To come up with $1,000 to get the car, then we could sell the car, get a smaller loan. It's the only time we recommend loans, maybe from a credit union, and to pay off the rest of the loan and then start fresh. But one of the things we've got to do is get you into a place where you can make more income but not have all the physical exertion, because you do have some physical limitations. And I want to try to help you on that. We may not be able to solve it all on this call, but I at least want to put that out to you so that you have a mindset that you don't have to look at Chapter 7 to get out of this mess. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I know you feel like that's the only option you have left. How does that hit you? How do you push back if there's some pushback, something that John and I don't know?
It's been very depressing, dealing with it all, and I never even considered filing bankruptcy ever in my life.
Sure.
So, Terrence, filing for bankruptcy, if we look at the data, has a lot of external consequences besides money, and you're feeling it right now, right? It feels like it's going to be this big freedom and this big release, and there is a release to it, but man, what it does to your psyche, what it does to your ability to navigate certain things moving forward, it's just such a burden. It's very similar to divorce. I'll never recommend somebody get divorced. That's a decision someone's got to make on their own, and I don't ever recommend that somebody file for bankruptcy, simply because I know the downstream consequences are so heavy. Sometimes it's your only option. Dave's talked about it. He did it, and he is probably one of the last in lines to say, hey, he went and developed a plan so that nobody ever has to go through that, right? I've spent my career up until I joined Ramsey Solutions working with people with learning exceptionalities and with special needs. Does this agency place you in a place where they said this is all you can do? Because right now, when I look at the wages, even at minimum wage places, are paying double minimum wage in certain places. They're paying a lot more than $20,000 a year to work fast food right now, or to drive Uber. And I'm trying to think of a couple of places that you could work and then get another job driving around where you could just listen to music or listen to podcasts or talk on the phone. And if you have those days where you're just worn out, you can stay at home. You don't have to work that shift if it's Uber or if it's Uber Eats or if it's one of those, Lyft or anything like that. My question for you is this. Instead of just saying all I'm ever going to do is be able to do $20,000 a year, do you have a mentor or a friend or someone who will walk alongside you that's outside of the agency that you trust, that you said, hey, I got to make more money and I need your help looking at jobs, applying for jobs, going to interview with jobs? Would you be willing to walk alongside? Is there somebody else that would help you with that, or is the agency all you got?
Not at the moment. They're literally all I have right now. I haven't even considered, trying to find other people of that caliber to talk to.
Okay.
Well, Terrence, I want to challenge you on something because John and I know you can get out of this.
I know you can.
And we want you to borrow our belief. If you just got John and I today, I'm telling you, Terrence, yes, you have the physical limitations, but John is right. We're talking Walmart and Target, late shift,
McDonald's,
something like that. You can make as much as $18, $20, $22 an hour. Not only that, Kroger just announced, I don't know if you had, but I'm giving you ideas to where you go, wait a second, the world is much bigger than this agency just placing me somewhere where they have a relationship, because more money changes your life dramatically. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
I mean, I want you just for a second to imagine making $20 an hour. How would that change your life?
I wouldn't worry so much.
Come on, man. You'd be able to get that car out of the mechanic pretty quick. And John's right. I mean, that what people are paying. Listen, and can I tell you this? I want to paint a bigger picture. Walmart, Target, just two big companies. They are also giving tuition reimbursement to where not only you work and make more money, you could take the next chapter in your life and get qualified for something and they're going to reimburse you. So you got to know there are more possibilities for you, and you can get the car out of the mechanic and you can pay the debt off. You can walk through this, and we're going to walk through this with you. Let's give you Financial Peace University. We're going to gift you a full year of that, and I want to give you the book, Dave's book. He sold 6 million copies, something like that, and counting. Total Money Makeover. If I give that to you, will you promise to read it?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe, Terrence, that you can come out of this?
I mean, yeah.
Let me take one step.
Believe in myself.
Let me take one step below what Ken's saying. You've been told you're less than, haven't you?
I have, ever since I got sick and suffered a traumatic brain injury and all of that stuff. Yeah,
that's right. You've been told.
Has been very shocked.
You've been told you're broken. You've been told you're less than. You've been told you go over there. And Ken and I are both calling bullcrap on that. We believe in you more than you do. And I want you to believe in yourself as much as Ken and I do. Stay on the line. We're going to get you these tools in hand. And man, trust us. There is light on the other side of this thing.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you, brother.
Somebody needs you to show up and be the best version of Terrence that the world has ever seen. That's where we want you to get to.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Cassie's in Denver. Hi, Cassie. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my husband and I are on baby step 2 in the process of paying off our debts. And we discovered before we got married that my husband had about $17,000 in student debt. To kind of explain the situation, his parents agreed when they got divorced to pay for their kids' college tuition. So at the start of each semester, my husband's mom would send him cash, and his dad would ask that he take out a loan in my husband's name that his dad verbally agreed to pay back at the end of college, basically. So my husband also worked full-time, 40 hours. He ended up getting all of his tuition reimbursed. So at the end of each semester, he would send his mom the cash back and his dad the other half, and he thought he was paying those loans off. But come to find out, he spent that money instead, and now my husband still has $17,000 in student loans in his name with his dad's verbal agreement to pay it back.
Well, I think we see why they got a divorce.
Yes, it's one of the many reasons that he's poor with money. But we are
not that he borrows money,
but
he steals money from his kids. I mean, what kind of guy is this?
Yeah, and it's kind of hit to the point where we have a 4-month-old. We want to purchase a house soon. The question is, does that debt fall on us, or
Sure,
essentially
it's in
his
your husband's
personal
name.
loan? Yeah, exactly. And so, do we delay buying the house to
Yes.
pay that off?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's,
So
it's as if
I'm
you got
I'm
scammed
guessing
here.
your father-in-law, I mean, this guy sounds like a real upstanding twerp. I'm guessing he doesn't have $17,000 to honor his word and pay this off, right?
He lives paycheck to paycheck and probably will for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we just trusted that he was going to go through with
How
this
long,
whole deal.
But your husband did all this when he was a kid. He gave your dad, I mean, he's a college kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're 17, 18, your parents' finances are your finances.
Yeah,
you know, like,
he sent him the money back then. He hasn't sent him money since y'all been married.
Correct. He sent him the money at the end of each semester.
Yeah, long
and
time
thought we were
ago.
being paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your household income?
About 116.
How much money do you have?
Right now we have. You mean like in savings?
Mm-hmm.
So we have our $1,000 emergency fund, and then we're just paying off our other debts, including.
Oh, so you're working a debt snowball.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Cassie. How much other debt have you guys got?
So I have about 12,000 students, and then I have 23,000 on a car. I'm actively trying to sell it and get a lesser car, and he has about 10,000 on his truck that we've been snowballing. So.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that this pattern of lack of integrity and irresponsibility has already put a strain on your husband's relationship with his dad. Not counting,
Actually, no.
not counting this here. If you just took this out, it was already a strain.
No, they haven't. My husband was pretty clueless until I got in the picture. He didn't, he's of the mindset it's his dad's responsibility. It was written in.
No. You misunderstand me.
Yeah.
Your husband's dad is a twerp. Okay, the student loan's not the first time he was a twerp.
Correct. Yes.
So I'm guessing that your husband is already strained just because his dad doesn't do the stuff he says he's going to do in general.
Correct. Yes, and you're right. He has done this before.
This is not he says he's going to be there for Christmas. He doesn't come. Or he says he's going to be there at 6 o'clock. He comes at 10 o'clock because he just doesn't, the world revolves around him. It doesn't occur to him that he's supposed to keep his word on anything.
Yep.
And that's why they're not married anymore. I mean, that's, so what I'm pointing out is the student loan is just one more brick in the wall of this guy's life. It's because it's very seldom that you'd have this as a standalone issue in his life, in the father-in-law's life. So my point is, put it in, you owe it legally. You're going to have to pay it. It's not going to go away until y'all pay it. So put it in your debt snowball. I'm so sorry you're having to do that. But then what y'all need to do is step back. And if I'm in your shoes, this pisses me off a lot because it delays when you get your house a little. And I would require that if I'm you, require is not the right word. I would want my spouse to say out loud how bad this is and not just act like this is okay. If your husband act like this is okay, it's going to make you really angry. This is not okay. This is not okay.
Does he still trust that his dad's going to pay this? I don't understand.
Yes, he does.
How?
And he did it for his sister as well, and he's actually missed payments on her plan, so her credit got really messed up from it.
There's nothing in the entire story that indicates he's ever going to pay this.
Yeah.
And so your husband owning that is going to help you relationally with your husband and help you emotionally. If I'm in your shoes, this is me anyway, it's going to help me. If this is my wife and she came in and she goes, look, this is awful. I'm so sorry. We got to pay this and it's wrong. And he's not going to do it. I wish he would do it. He's just not that guy. He's the guy that doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He's that guy. And so that's for you and your husband because there's nothing either one of y'all are going to do is going to change the twerp. The twerp's just a twerp. He just is. I mean, he's just over there and you're not going to change him and no amount of angry is going to make, there's no justice in this story. Justice will not be done in this story, this side of heaven, right? Because justice would be the old man paid the bill.
Right.
But that's nobody in this within the earshot of our microphones right now. 30 million people listening to this call. None of them think he's going to pay the bill. Your husband's the only one. So he needs to own that for the sake of your all's relationships, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
I'm not asking him to disown his father or never speak to him again. I'm not suggesting that. There's not molestation or something that's occurred here. There's nothing like that. This is just the old man didn't keep his word. Well,
right.
Yeah, that happens a lot, I'm afraid. The old lady didn't keep her word. That happens a lot, I'm afraid. So, but you can love him where, he's just that guy over there. And I just love him but I'm certainly not going to do any business with this guy ever again.
Right.
I'm not going to trust him with any money, not going to send any money to him. You're $17,000 in the hole to me. Let's just start the conversation there.
Yeah.
But
so the reality is, you guys are in $62,000 of debt. Your debt. You make $116,000, and this is a solvable problem. But it's going to delay your home purchase by a few years.
Well, not even, but
maybe 18 months is what it's going to take to get rid of all this debt. Unless you sell the car, it will happen even sooner. So
it's you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It's just.
But it's like you got scammed, is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's so
I got
emotional.
scammed. I'm out the money, and I still have to move forward.
I didn't just get scammed. I got scammed by my dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The person who's supposed to love me and
protect me. The very one that's supposed to not. It's like these parents that steal their kids' identity. It's a certain level of scum. It's a whole nother level of scum. When you steal your own kid's identity and you go open accounts in your kid's name. Oh my God. That's just, this guy didn't do that, but he's in the same bucket, And it's just awful. Oh, I'm so sorry. But the problem is when we get into these things, you get right down to the facts. The facts are, Cassie, that your husband has a student loan in his name. And no one's going to pay it if y'all don't. So you're in debt. So you got to clean it up. That's the facts. But the emotion around the facts is just nasty.
Mm. Well, and the whole situation from the beginning just sounded complicated and sketchy. It was like, well, you take that down in your name and I'll get you. You make the...
once you say that right there, you can see what's coming.
If Dad's not willing to take out the loan for himself, he wasn't willing to take on the risk, and he was not willing to pay.
Well, yeah.
He didn't have the money, and he doesn't now. He blew it somehow.
And Mom's over here handing cash, and he's handing her cash back.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you could tell what happened. You tell what happened to that marriage. That's just awful.
Mm.
Yeah. Integrity shows up in everything, and it always shows up as a pattern, not a singular event. And that's what you're looking for. That's why I was saying that about...
It wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last.
No. It's not going to be the last time he doesn't keep his word on something. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Let's go out to Chris in Springfield, Missouri. What's up, Chris? How we doing?
Hey, man. Before I start, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys and everybody at Ramsey Solutions. Since I was younger, you've had a really positive impact on me and my financial decisions. So
cool.
I just want to say for that.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. What's happening?
I think it would be important just to give you guys a little bit of context on me and just my background before I ask my question. So basically, I've always been really good with my money. Over a few years, I was able to save up like $50,000. $40,000 of it was in my savings, and then $10,000 of it I had invested in mutual funds. I also am going to school. I like to say better than debt free because I'm going totally free.
Good for you, man.
Just through
That's awesome.
scholarships and a work study and stuff like that. So with that, though, during all of that time that I was accumulating those funds, I was in an abusive relationship. Pretty much like anything negative you could think of.
I'm sorry.
She dished all that out. So it kind of messed me up. And when I was finally able to get out of it, as a way of coping, I guess, I started spending my money on a lot of stuff. Sorry.
You're all right.
Over like maybe 8 months now, I've totally drained all my savings, and I've pulled out all my investments and I've just spent it all on crap. And I probably only have like, I don't know, maybe a little under $2,000 now.
Okay.
So I don't really know where to go from here, because my plan originally was, once I get my bachelor's, the deal that I kind of have with my parents is like, once I'm done with college, I'm out of the house, and that's just what it is. And I was going to go to grad school and everything, but I'm just not really sure how to like go about doing that and just what to do financially anymore.
So I think, Dave's been saying for years, your money is just a reflection of what's going on in your heart and mind and soul and life. And so right now I want to move the money conversation over. It's a big neon sign letting you know that you're not all right now. And I want to tell you, having sat with people, I can't count how many people I've sat across the table with or sat next to who are trying to figure out who they are after leaving an abusive relationship. And the chaos of, I still love that person, but that person deeply hurt me in a number of different ways. I lost part of myself, and I don't even know what that means and how to get that back. All of that stuff is all chaotic and a mess. And yeah, man, you got out your spending card and went bananas. What I would tell you is the sun came up today, right?
That's true, yeah.
You got $2,000. And I don't want to minimize. You're going to have some grief, and you're probably going to have some resentment. You're going to have all that stuff. All those feelings, dude, listen to me. They're right. They're fine. They're good. They're right. The only thing you can do from this moment forward, you can't go back and edit sentences that have already been written. They got a period at the end of them. You were in love with somebody that hurt you deeply. You broke up. You spent $48,000 in a spending spree to wallpaper over depression and grief and sadness. And here you are. And the things you told us leading up to those moments tell me that you are a strong kid and that you're a driven guy and you have accomplished a ton. We very few of the adults that call into this show have $50,000, access $50,000 cash, my brother. Very few people call in and say, hey, I figured out how to do college for free. And so you had a plan, and that plan's going to be different now. You had a plan, you're just going to waltz into grad school, into your next job because you had a big nest egg. Well, you don't have that anymore, so cool. Nothing about what you've told me suggests that you suddenly have lost the ability to work really hard, because I know that's who you are. And nothing you've told me says suddenly you're dumb, because you're not. What you have told me is you're going to have to spend a season grieving this. You're going to have to go spend some time with a counselor. Okay? And I would tell you that if you were my best friend or you're my brother.
Okay.
Okay? And you're going to spend some time healing, and you're going to spend some time. Here's the uncomfortable truth about abusive relationships that people often don't hear. It's real easy to be on the outside of that and to demonize the abuser. What people often fail to take into account is the person being abused loses trust in themselves. I don't even trust me anymore. And now you've got 48,000 reasons to further not trust you, right? What you're going to have to do is learn to build trust in Chris again. That's just going to take some practice, my man.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I want you to hang on the line here. You're still in school, right?
Yeah, I got a year left.
Okay. Here's why that's fantastic. I'm so happy, because that means you have access to a student counseling center that's going to be outstanding. And in a time when it's very hard to just call a therapist off the street and get an appointment, you're going to be able to do that. So I want you to make that call today. In exchange for making that call, we're going to send you Ken Coleman's Get Clear assessment. We're going to send you his book, Paycheck to Purpose. And I'm going to send you my book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And that my whole book is what happens when you are sitting down and you realize you're an ash, and how do you take that next step out? Okay? I'm grateful for the call, man, and we love you, and we'll help you every step of the way here. I just need you to hear me say you're not broken. You're not dysfunctional. You didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you blew a bunch of money, and I would laugh with you and high-five you if we were sitting at the table. And also, I don't believe, Jade, I don't believe in the phrase too soon. That's just kind of me. But I'd high five you, and then we would get on with, okay, what comes next? But you got some healing to do.
Oh, yeah. That's tough. I think you covered it. I'm not going to add or take away.
I'm trying to think of how I've wrestled with moments in my life, Jade, when I've just flat out set my values on fire, or I've flat out done something that I said I wasn't going to do, or I've spent my time poking my finger at people who do things, and then all of a sudden I look up 6 months later and I'm that guy now.
Right. You know, it's tough. I was sitting here trying to think of a similar situation. I'm like, when have I been there? Like, what have I done? And it's you can really live in the past and wallow in like, man, what I did, I spent $48,000. How could I have done that? But then it's like, what are you going to do next?
And I think as a culture, we have two narratives. One is you're always going to be the worst thing you've ever done, the worst thing that ever happened to you. You're always going to be the dumbest thing you've ever done. And then the other one is if you have feelings and you're a coward and a wimp and you're weak, you need to just suck it up and grind it. And I think that's nonsense. I think the world is desperate for a new third way, which is we're going to spend some time feeling sad and we're going to have some grief. You went through hell. And you did some dumb stuff.
Yeah,
let's just
acknowledge it. Yeah.
And then we're going to get the right people around us. And because we can't do it alone, we're going to get the right people around us. And then we're going to take the next crooked, wobbly step forward to wherever it is we're going. Right?
Yeah. Progress, not necessarily perfection. Nobody's out here doing things perfect. We're all just trying to make some kind of progress forward, right?
I mean, George Campbell tells us he's perfect.
His hair is perfect.
His hair is perfect.
It's high. It's high and tight.
Well, you should see the hair dryer he has back there.
I've never seen it.
He actually converted an old air conditioner. It's really an extraordinary.
I need to get on that then.
Well, they have a special plug in there. It's like a 220. It's incredible. But
Kimberly is going to start off this hour in Seattle. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. How can Jade and I help?
Okay, so my question is, I have a 20-year-old daughter. This past year, before I was following your teachings, I assisted her with a down payment of 3% to purchase a home for stability reasons in Kansas. And the payment is about 40% of her take-home pay. She does have a roommate, so, the amounts are substantially lower. But I'm wondering what my financial obligation is to her moving forward, since I did, quite honestly, pressure her into purchasing this house. I'm just wondering what is my obligation?
Why did you do that? I need to understand why you put her in such a precarious situation. She's at 40%. With the requirement of a roommate, and you said you did it for stability purposes. Help me understand.
Well, without making it a long, drawn-out conversation, she did not have the best upbringing, so she has chosen to make some of the same mistakes that I made, and she gets herself into situations where she is living with a boyfriend and dependent upon them. And then when the situation goes south, she ends up having to find a new place to live.
And is the house in your name or in her name?
No, the house it's in her name completely. And so she is her roommate, based on Dave's teaching. He is a roommate. It is her boyfriend.
So on some of the other life decisions, have you shared with her, hey, I did this thing and I was wrong, and I shouldn't have. I goofed up, and I wish you, for your sake, I wish you wouldn't do it. Have you shared that kind of stuff with her about those life decisions?
Absolutely.
Then this is another one.
I've been in recovery for 10 years.
Yeah. Then this is another. Kimberly. Then this is another one.
Okay.
Your only obligation is to apologize. I did this out of a good heart. I was trying to get you into a stable housing situation so you didn't make some of these other relational mistakes. So I did it with good motivation. But since you did that, I have learned some things that I didn't know at the time that's made me realize that it's put you in a different kind of instability. and I'm sorry for that. And I'll coach you, I'll walk with you, and if you don't see your income come up pretty dramatically in the next couple of years to where that percentage comes down, then you probably ought to sell it. That's what I would tell her if she was my kid.
Okay.
But you don't have any financial obligation.
Okay.
Just tell her
Okay,
if you can't get your income up, I may have helped you make a mistake. I'm sorry for that. You may need to undo the mistake by selling the house if you can't get your income up. That's what I would tell her if she was mine.
Okay.
But you're signing on, and I've got to help her pay payments because I feel guilty because I screwed up. No. She's a grown woman. She's 20 years old. She has the legal right to purchase a house. She had the legal right to tell you to take a flying flop, and she didn't. Okay? She has these legal rights, and so she's an adult. She gets to make the call. And granted, you had undue influence probably. I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. But that does not make you financially, legally, morally, ethically obligated. But I would go to her and say, hey, I've learned some stuff like I did about other things I talked to you about, and this is the money part, and, here's what we're doing. What does she do for a living?
She works at a bank.
Doing what?
I am not exactly sure what her title is.
Do you have any
she
idea what
works
her
with
career track
Economic
looks
Law.
like? Is she going to see some pretty good income increases? Is she in a training program where her income's going to go way up later?
I hope so, and I'm not counting
You have no
on
clue.
it.
What's your relationship
No.
like with your daughter? Are you guys on a speaking regular basis? Do you get the feeling that she trusts you and that she values your input, or are things frayed?
No, we're very close, and
Okay.
she definitely trusts my input.
Yeah. I would just say, listen, unless you see your income coming up, I may have led you into an unstable situation when I was trying to help you stabilize. I goofed. So I just want to put you on a warning that this might not be nirvana that you signed up for. And if you don't get your income up, you may want to look at selling this within a year or two. It's not the end of the world short term. She can make it. And with a roommate, she can certainly make it. But, she went from being dependent on a boyfriend to now she's dependent on a roommate. So we're always, because we're overstrapped, and that's what we're doing. So you got a good heart, Kimberly. You're a good mom. You were trying. You're doing your best. We're all trying to figure this thing out as we go. And then for the rest of you out there, to Jade's point, sometimes what the culture, whatever people are saying, whatever they said and I heard are saying about money, they're all broke. So whatever they're saying, don't do it. And in a sense, that's what Kimberly did. She said, Everybody says her life will be better if she gets a house. Everybody says no matter what you spend, if you get a 4-year degree, even if it's in left-handed puppetry or German polka history, even if you get a useless freaking degree and you go $200,000 in debt, it's all going to be okay because education's important. Everybody says everybody is stupid. So
Everybody is broke.
Yeah, whatever the culture is telling you, normal sucks. You do not want to be normal. Do not be conformed to this world. And that's, in a sense, Kimberly was trying to do the right thing. And no, not in a sense. She was trying to do the right thing, but the pattern or the template she was using was that of a broke culture that
That's
says
right, Dave.
owning a home is always good for you. And owning a home is not good for you when you're broke. That's why they call them brokers. You get broker and broker.
Neil joins us in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Neil, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, George. How's it going?
Great. How can I help?
Yeah, so right now I'm 22 years old, making around 90 take home, and been listening to you guys for, I think, 3 or 4 years now, since I was like 18.
Awesome.
So a big fan, and kind of have a small problem going on in my life. So I do live with my parents right now, and I don't pay rent technically, but I do end up paying, $1 to $2K, putting money into the house, like groceries and miscellaneous expenses. And just wanted to ask you, I don't, like staying at home, and I want to finance, a big wedding coming up, hopefully when I'm like 25, 26. Do you think I should kind of move out or kind of save money and continue staying at home?
I think you should move out based on the information you just gave me. And let me just be clear. You said finance a wedding. That worried me. Do you mean pay cash?
No. I just want to kind of save up for a wedding, like
Okay.
a bigger wedding.
Scott, so you're not going into debt for this wedding?
No.
Okay, you worried me. Never use the word finance. It scares me. You spooked me there. Because you've been following us for a few years now. So have you followed the baby steps? Do you have any debt?
No. So luckily my parents did pay for my college tuition. So no debt. Just that's why I'm trying to make the correct move so I can save up for this wedding.
Do you have an emergency fund?
Yes, I do.
How much is in there? How many months of expenses?
It's 6 months. So
But you don't have many
30,000.
expenses.
Right.
So how much do you have in there?
30,000.
Wow.
I've kind of put in like a big chunk of my first year's salary into that.
Very cool. And you're investing 15% of your income into retirement?
Yep, and maxed out my 401k that my employer sponsors. So I think I get like a 7% match.
Wow. So are you investing more than 15%?
I haven't looked into that like too specific. I'm just trying to put in as much into investing. I don't know the exact percentages.
Okay. Well, I would keep it at 15% right now, only because you're 22 and you've got a lot of other financial goals to hit, including paying for this wedding. Are you dating someone right now, or is this just future thinking?
Dating someone for like 6 years now.
Oh, wow. So this is like a high school relationship that has gone
Yeah,
well?
high school relationship.
But
Yep.
not too well to
And,
where you're like, I'm
throughout
not quite
college,
ready.
too. Right, but I just want to be financially set as well.
Dude, you
so
are.
That's why I want to wait. Well, I just want to make sure,
You have a 90,000
100% rather.
take-home pay. You have no debt and an emergency fund. I mean, half the women listening right now are like, man, I wish I could find a Neil out there.
Yeah, but this wedding that I'm kind of thinking of, kind of in like the 500K kind of range. So
I'm sorry, hold the phones. You said $500,000 for a wedding?
George, have you ever been to an Indian wedding?
I've seen it on TV. I've seen Love
Yeah,
is Blind,
these are
if that
massive.
counts.
Yeah,
Oh, my
so,
goodness, man.
They're very expensive.
Is that just normal?
Yeah.
Hold on,
kind
who's
of.
paying for this?
Sometimes, yeah. So I don't want to get my parents involved. That's why I'm trying to kind of do my due diligence to make these steps proper, and so I can pay for this.
Can you break the mold and do like a $50,000 wedding, which is still like really expensive for most people?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can.
You'll
ask,
be
like,
shunned
my
by all
girlfriend.
the people
I
that
haven't-
attend.
Yeah, true.
I get it. Man, I mean, that feels just exorbitant for you to be paying on your own. I feel like if it's like, hey, mom and dad, if this is your reputation on the line, then you can fund it.
Right.
But I've got goals, and the wedding is one day, and I want to set myself up for the rest of my life with my wife, not throw a party that makes the parents look good.
True.
I mean, right? Isn't that
So,
that's a piece of the cultural aspect?
Yeah, that is true. But usually these like weddings like last like maybe like a
Days.
week long, so it's not just one day. But yeah, your logic definitely does make sense.
Man, that just took my breath away. I think it took America's breath away too. I mean, you could buy a house for that much money in
Yeah,
cash.
yeah. The reputation really matters.
Well, I can't stop you from doing that, but I would say let's make a plan to where you're not having to pay for that, because that's overwhelming for a 22-year-old. Even though you're
Gotcha.
crushing it, to go, hey, it's on you to pay for a $500,000 wedding.
Yeah, they did pay for my college. That's why I'm not kind of resorting to asking my parents. But yeah, that does make sense.
Now, have you talked to your girlfriend about her parents and what they would pitch in?
No, so I'm kind of like an early bird on this. Since this is a plan 3-4 years out, I kind of don't want to freak her out by mentioning, marriage and stuff. So no, I haven't.
Hold on. You've been
them
dating
about it.
for 6 years, and you think you're going to freak her out by mentioning marriage?
But we're still 22 at the end of the day, we just got at the college lifestyle, working corporate jobs now, so it's not, fully into the picture yet.
Now, does she come from the same cultural background as you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're both on board to just throw $500,000 at this wedding?
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, culturally, is it usually a split amount that families pay? How does this normally go down?
Yeah, so normally it is split among the bride's parents and the groom's parents. So the bride and groom don't usually pay for the expenses for the wedding.
And that's where my head is at. I mean, if the parents want to do that, that's great. But if you say, hey, they're not going to foot the bill and it's on me, then sorry, we're not doing a $500,000 wedding.
Yeah, that does make sense, yeah.
Because here's the problem. If you're going to do a $500,000 wedding and pay for it, you're going to have to live with your parents until the day you get married. And that's not a good plan. So I think you need to move out. You need to start your life on your own. You need to have some more serious conversations with your girlfriend as you head towards marriage. And we've got to figure out a game plan for what this future looks like. And I mean, it just hurts my heart that there's $500,000 weddings out there. I mean, they look amazing. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be invited to one day. So throw me an invite, Neil, if you're going to throw the party.
Yep, of course.
And you're footing the bill.
Exactly.
But, man, you're crushing it. I mean, 22 years old with a $90,000 take-home pay, no debt, emergency fund, you're investing. You're doing great. And you can afford to move out and get your own place if you want to. And I wouldn't be sticking around with mom and dad too much longer.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
All right. Well, my work here is done. Keep me posted on this wedding. Send me photos and videos on Instagram. All right, Neil?
Of course. Thank you, George.
Appreciate it. Oh, I just had to deflate after that call. I literally can't breathe, trying to fathom spending $500,000. So, fun fact, me and my wife, we won a free wedding that was a $28,000 wedding package. And, I mean, I thought we won the lottery. But it turns out that was like a poor person's wedding compared to these wild Indian weddings that are a week long. That's incredible. And on top of that, it still cost us money to throw another reception because the wedding had limits on how many people could attend and all that. So you were down to, like 4 guests can attend. And so we threw another reception that we helped pay for with our families. And it was great and it was worth it. But, man, let me tell you, I don't remember much from the wedding except the photos. I can't tell you. I can count on one finger how many times I've went back and watched the wedding footage and reminisced. Because the truth is, the focus is now on our marriage together, just us two. Couldn't tell you who was there and all the faces and invitations we sent out. Kelly was there. She's pointing at me now, reminding me that she was there. Appreciate you, Kelly. Thanks for the gift, whatever it was. But man, weddings. The whole thing is a scam, and I get that we love to celebrate, and it's a big day for people. But remember, it's about you two. It's about your marriage. It's about your future. It's not about impressing people. It's not about keeping up a reputation.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Up next, we've got Bill in New Haven, Connecticut. Bill, how's it going?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My wife and I are in a very difficult situation. I'm 71. I'll be 72 next month. My wife is 66. She teaches at a private school. We moved from a state where the salaries are considerably lower than they are here in Connecticut, and the cost of living is not a whole lot different. And this past summer, in the heat of the summer, for Connecticut, our air conditioning went out completely. And it's going to cost us almost $14,500 to get a new furnace and everything to replace the one that went out. And it's going to. They have a state program here. I can finance. It'll be almost be about a $175 a month for 10 years. Additionally, my wife took out a parent loan for our daughter to go to college. I was adamantly opposed to it, but her philosophy is she's my baby and I love her, so I'm going to do it. and due to being in forbearance twice, once due to getting sick and having to take off work during the school year in the other state, and then moving up here to Connecticut, she went into forbearance each of those 2 times. And what that means is that you don't have to make a payment, but the interest accrues.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, she still owes over $100,000 on that. Our daughter went to a private school in New York. And it's like I've been fighting a losing battle financially all these years. And I'm 71 now. I'll be 72 next month. And I have to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I took an early retirement a few years ago, but, all I'm getting is a small Social Security check because my salaries were always low. I have a small Army Reserve retirement. Thank goodness I stayed in that for over 20 years. And then I have a very, very small state retirement from our most recent state. I worked for the state retirement system for a few years.
So
and,
what is the household
my
income
wife
add
is
up to right now?
Our total income, our AGI is less than 100,000.
Okay.
Including everything. And my wife is 66, and she would like to start receiving Social Security when she can get the maximum dollar amount, and I would like her to do that too. But she's talking about starting to receive Social Security as soon as she can, which I believe is about another 6 months or so, something like that. And it would be considerably less. And she teaches at a private school now. She's happy there. The salaries at private schools are very low. But she says at her age, if she were to get a Connecticut teaching certificate, nobody would hire her because who wants a 66-year-old
I don't
woman?
buy that one.
Well, that's what she says. And plus, she loves where she is now. She was in a miserable teaching situation in the previous state. That's why she went on sick leave, because the superintendent drove her to that, to make a long story short. And then we moved up here. And so due to those 2 situations is why she went on the forbearance, because we did not have any money coming in to make the payments. Now I'm looking at going back to work, whether it's full-time or part-time, preferably full-time, because like I said, I need the money.
Well, how much do you guys have that's liquid? Liquid
Pardon?
cash?
Oh, nothing. We have bills up to our eyeballs.
You have more debt than the Parent Plus loans and this 14.5 HVAC?
Yes.
What else?
Yes. Credit cards, of course. And it's about $70,000.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, I know. It's horrifying, and I'm.
Is your wife concerned about this, or is it just you?
Absolutely. Yes, both of us are concerned.
And what other debt?
Well, the house.
What's left on the mortgage?
Oh, gee. Probably about 200 and something thousand.
Okay.
What's the house worth?
I don't know. We're not sure about that. It's about.
What'd you buy it for?
I'm trying to remember. We bought it for $300,000 and something.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I'm looking at going back to work, and I know that some of the places I've come across mention in their ads that they offer 401ks. Some mention that they offer 401ks with a match. Some do not mention a 401k at all. Now, my understanding is that you have to begin withdrawing from a 401k at a certain age. And I'm wondering if at my age, would I even be allowed to put money into a 401k? And if I did, what would I do? Put the money in the 401k and get the employer's match, and then start withdrawing the 401k.
Well, truthfully,
these
Bill,
bills?
I don't want to be their bearer of bad news, but we got a ways to go before we would even begin investing. So we wouldn't recommend you do any investing until you clean up this mess.
Even with the employer match.
Even with the employer match. You guys are so underwater on payments, you don't have a dime to invest.
You're exactly right.
So we need to clean up this debt. And so I'm going to start with the smallest balance to largest. I'm going to try to, can your daughter make the payment on these student loans?
She won't do it.
Why?
She says it's the parent's responsibility to pay for the child's education. I paid for all of my education.
Who taught her that? Mom?
How did you guess?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, okay, so, Bill, here's the reality.
You've been catered to her whole life.
Well, this is as much a marital problem as much as it's financial.
You've
got some resentment towards your spouse.
Yeah, you got a marriage issue. And George and I can't solve the marriage issue. Unfortunately, the marriage issue has created a mountain of money issues. And Bill, look, here's the bottom line. We teach the baby steps for a reason, whether you're 71, 51, or 31. And right now, what you have to do is $1,000 as an emergency fund. And unfortunately, you had a massive emergency in the form of an HVAC system. You got to take care of that, George. That's a tough situation. You can't use credit cards to do that, but you guys are going to have to scramble and work, and it's time for you and Mom to have a conversation with the daughter, and it's time for her to grow up. That's going to be a difficult conversation. If your wife is as concerned as you said she is, then it's time for her to have some hard conversations. This is a mess.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at $200,000 outside of the mortgage that you guys owe if you're taking on these Parent Plus loans while making $90,000. And you're already almost 72, Bill. And so we've got to make some big decisions. You got to go make $25 an hour at least, 40 hours a week to help. But you need your wife on the same page first. You're not going to make any progress when you're trying to do this on your own. And you need to have that hard conversation with your daughter and say, listen, Mom and Dad are broke. And unless you want to be taking care of us for the next 20 years, we need to clean up our mess and you need to clean up these student loans. But again, the legal responsibility is on you guys, which is the worst part about these Parent Plus loans, Ken. High interest rates, forbearance, the kid doesn't pay, it's on the parents, and Thanksgiving dinner's real awkward. Bill, I'm so sorry you're going through this, man. I hope that you can clean this up and one day retire again, but this time the right way, with some dignity, with some peace, with some patience, and with a pile of money.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Sterling is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Sterling. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so I am 17. I have a $1,000 car. I have $5,000 in a Roth IRA, and I'm putting $500 in a month right now. I make about $1,500 a month, and I'm still doing full-time high school. I've got free college, and I've been through Financial Peace University, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do with my money and if I need to open an index fund or how I should be setting aside money for a house.
I think you should run for president. Oh my gosh, young man, you're on fire. What are you doing to make all this money?
So I started out as a painter when I was 15. My dad helped me get the job, and then right now I'm working as a HVAC cleaner. So I help a guy clean air ducts and dryer vents.
Yeah.
Nice. My husband did that through college, Sterling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard work. It's nasty work too, but you're not afraid of hard work. Get her done, man. I'm proud of you. Very well done. So you're heading off to school. Is that the plan? What's the plan when you graduate?
Yes, sir. So I'm a junior right now. I'm planning on dual enrolling some this next year, and hopefully I'll get some college hours in. And then once I graduate high school, I'm planning on hopefully I'm thinking about majoring in business and then maybe going to trade school at some point after that. That's my plan so far.
I think you got a great plan. Very cool. Very cool. So your question is what to do with all this money?
Yes, sir. Should I be saving it up for a house? Should I be putting this in an index fund? Because I'm already maxing out my Roth IRA.
How's college paid for?
So my dad actually works at a college right now, so I get to have free tuition, and he's got like half the books I need.
Okay. All right. I would not try to get too fancy. I'm just going to park it as an insurance policy to make sure that if something goes sideways on the free part of the college, you can still finish. And
Yes.
so the worst case scenario is you have, I don't know, $30 or $40 or $50,000 when you graduate. Oh darn. And then you just have to figure out buying a house at that point. But if you've got that in a good mutual fund, just do something like an index fund. I think that'd be just fine. But the big deal here is sometimes some of our plans get derailed, and I always want, it's more important for you, especially sharp and as much of an ambition and as much of a go-getter as you are, to complete school and to complete it debt-free. That is more valuable than any amount of money you will ever make on a mutual fund in terms of the actual math. In other words, you will be more valuable by many times more than this money will make in a mutual fund. So the investment is my secondary concern. My primary concern is you, and making sure that if something blew up over there with your dad or whatever, then you can still finish school. And if it doesn't, if the plan goes exactly as you got it laid out, you're still going to have a pile of money for, to get into your first job and your first house and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because I love obviously the motivation of investing and all that, Sterling. You're doing it, right? The earlier the better, but also kind of with the caveat that between 17 and 22 years old, there's a lot of transition. There's a lot of change. You have no clue kind of what life is going to bring you. And so you're not going to not become wealthy if you start really kind of hardcore investing at 22 versus 17, if that makes sense. So having that cash available, like you're saying, Dave, I think is so smart, because again, whether you go to college and then you're like, okay, I want to move to a different state, I'm going to need cash to be able to move. Who knows? Maybe you meet a girl and you're like, I want to propose, and you're going to get a ring. Like, there's just so much transition that can happen in that time. And so giving yourself the ability to have margin with cash to be able to kind of move and go at the pace you want is worth it. And then once you kind of settle down after college and figure out where you're going to live, your first job and all of that, then go hardcore into the investing, because that's where you're going to be, which is freaking amazing that you're going to be on baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
I'm not sure who Sterling's dad and mom are, but I think they get the award.
Okay. Yes. But I wanted to ask him too. There is something in certain people that they just have this drive. And I see that in my kids. Like, you have kind of that, you have kids that they just have this natural motivation. Their natural wiring is they love making money. They start to
think anybody naturally cleans air ducts.
To go and work, though.
I know, that work
ethic. It's in him. I don't think his parents are making him do that, is what I'm saying. Like, there's something in Sterling and in people, and it's like they just have that drive. So I'm just applauding him. Yeah, he's doing an amazing thing.
He's a stud. I'm not taking anything away from him.
And your parents, for sure, have done an incredible job teaching you and showing you. So it is, it's all of it, which is awesome. Great job, Sterling.
You don't accidentally.
And have fun too, Sterling. Have fun. Have fun. You're 17. You're good. You're gonna be good. Have fun.
Today's question comes from Brian in Missouri. He asks, I'm 27 years old and I have been working in the natural gas industry since I was 20. I don't have a degree and I make very good money and enjoy the work. The last few years, it has seemed that our country is moving away from my industry. I have a fear that late in my career I could be out of a job. Is this a rational fear or am I paranoid? Should I be looking into other careers? Okay, Brian. First of all, I think it's a good question, right? It's a forward-thinking question. What's going on in the natural gas industry? Are these real trends that we need to be worried about? Or is it just kind of the ups and downs as we see new types of energy become available for consumers? Two things on this. I'm not a natural gas expert, but I have a hard time believing that the natural gas industry is going to completely go away. I just don't see that going away. It is still cost effective, and I think it's very viable. However, you are in the industry and you need to talk to real industry experts in your company, do your homework, and figure out, is this something that over time is going to go completely away? That would be the first question. So I don't think that you need to be fearful. I think that you need to be vigilant. There's a difference. I'm looking, I'm watching, I'm scanning the future, kind of seeing what's moving. But I'm not going to be fearful. Now, the second thing, George, that I would say to Brian is you do a certain type of work in the natural gas industry, right? So you aren't someone who is only capable of working in that industry. You are in, let's call it the energy industry. So therefore, whatever you do in your day-to-day work and the skill set that you've developed, plus the experience that you've developed, is all going to allow you to move into multiple different industries. So from that standpoint, I wouldn't be afraid at all.
Yeah, I think these skills are going to transfer to whatever industry, if it even does go away, Ken, like you're talking about. I don't know that it will in our lifetime.
I honestly can't see it unless natural gas just becomes a almost like an extinct resource. But I got to tell you, I use it all the time. I've got a world-class griddle, George. It's huge. And it connects right to the old gas line.
Natural gas. People love it.
And
People
I
love to
can
cook on it.
Man, let me tell you something.
All over the country.
It's fantastic.
So, yeah, I don't see it going away anytime soon, but I think he does have a right to stay afoot with
He's
the
a
trends.
smart guy. I would get the facts.
Unless I start seeing other natural gas companies shut down, layoffs are happening all around me, I see the writing on the wall, but let's not lose sleep over that right now.
No.
That could be 30, 40, 100 years from now. We
Yeah, but
just don't
here's
know.
the key, and I want other people to hear this because this is a relevant question for a large portion of our audience. Your skill set and your experience is transferable. I'm going to say it again. Your skill set and your experience is transferable. You might need to get a certification here or there, but the bottom line is you are not stuck in one industry. And I get this call all the time on the Ken Coleman Show. Ken, I'm a teacher. I want to get out. Ken, I'm a nurse. I want to get out, or whatever it is. We hear this the most from our military men and women. They feel like because they've only had a career in the military that they can't get a job in the private sector. And I said, wait a second. You work for one of the great organizations in the world, and you have skills, yes or no, and you have experience. And then where is that transferable in the private sector? And the reality is, in today's world, our military men and women are just premium because of their discipline, because of their character and commitment. So don't get too scared. Just start looking into it.
Good encouragement for Brian there. Thanks for the question.
Lisa is with us in Austin, Texas. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm having a good day.
Good. I am. How can I help?
I'm just starting your program, and I'm not sure how to do it when there is no money left to save at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month or any of the month. I was homeless for about a week and then had to live in a hotel for about a week until I found a place to live. And this is the first month that I was able to pretty much pay all the bills in full and start to get back on my feet a bit.
Good. I'm glad you're turning it around. So were you having a career problem or something else?
No, I've been a teacher for 11 years, and I love what I do, even though I only make $42,000.
Yeah, but $42,000 doesn't cause you to be homeless. How did you end up homeless making $42,000?
It was a fight among family, and I left.
Oh, you were living with someone else?
Yes, and it was a fight among family, and I left and became homeless.
Okay.
And
you had no money. You had no money saved at all.
I have no money saved. I am a spendaholic, I guess you could say. If I get it, I will spend it.
Gotcha.
Payday comes, and the first thing I'm doing is hitting up Target or Walmart or the
How old are you?
Or something. I'm 48 years old.
48 years old, and you were still living at home before?
I had a house, and it was paid for, and I sold it and went to live with my parents to help my mother, who was in a diving accident and kind of paralyzed, and was going to help her along.
What happened to the money from the house you sold?
Oh, I used it to pay off my first debt, and then I proceeded to go right back out and get myself back in debt.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So
do you think you've been through, it sounds like you've been through a lot of pain. I'm sorry. I know when I go through pain, I have one of two things that happens with me. I'm either going to go back and do it again, or I've had it and I'm not going back. Have you had it yet?
I think so. I really think this was the rock bottom that I had to hit for me to realize that I can't spend money that I no longer make. And
cool. So you have debt now? You've run debt back up. How much debt have you got?
I have $71,000 in student loans. and I'm not a doctor. And I have about $20,000 in personal, which includes a lien on my car.
How much do you owe on your car?
Yes, the car's paid off.
How much do you? Well, you have a lien on your car, so the car is not paid off.
Oh, okay. So it's about $14,000.
Okay. All right. So what is the car worth?
It's only a year old, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
I have never been financially responsible. I've never really understood money.
Right.
So
you understand it. You just spend it.
I spend it. I keep the economy afloat.
You're a teacher, and you understand 6th grade math. You just choose to ignore it and go do whatever the flip you want to do, like buy a car you can't afford.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that a lot of people do that. It's okay. I'm not being mean to you. I've done it too. So, I mean, we know what we're doing. I mean, I know when I eat a bag of chocolate chip cookies, it's probably not good for my girlish figure, you know. But I know what I'm doing, you know. And it's a choice you make. So you've got to decide that. Now, my good friend Les Brown's the great motivator. He says people finally change their lives when they say, I've had it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the only person that can fix this mess is the person in my mirror. If that's you, I can help you.
Yes. This is it. I'm living... when I've got out of college, I made 6 figures.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get started right now. We're going to take your paycheck, and you don't do anything with your paycheck until you buy food from the grocery store so you have food to eat. You're not allowed to go inside a restaurant ever again unless you're working there as your extra job until you get this debt cleaned up.
Right.
And you can't go back to Target. They don't have anything else you need. Stay out of Target because you told me Target's your weak spot.
It is.
Okay.
Hobby Lobby, Target, all those
you
places.
can't go to a bar if you're a drunk.
Right.
Okay? And sit around at happy hour and hope you don't get drunk. So don't go to Target and Hobby Lobby, whatever it is. Whoever it is, it's killing you, right? Just identify. And because none of these places sell food. Well, they actually do, but they're not. That's not where you're going to do your grocery shopping, okay? So you're going to do your grocery shopping, number one. Number two, you're going to pay your lights and water. We know you've got enough to do those 3 things. Number 3, you're going to pay your rent, so you're never homeless again. You got enough to do those 3 things. Then you're going to pay your car payment and get it paid off as quick as we can. And until you do food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities, you don't do anything. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You take care of you first, and you'll not be homeless again. Now, the student loan may or may not get paid this month, but right now you're going to take extra jobs, and you're going to have no life, and you're going to clean this mess up. Hold on. We're going to sign you up for Financial Peace University. I'm going to walk with you, and you call me back if you got questions as you go through this. It's time for you to change.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.